Hey up you beautiful buggers, how the devil are we all doing? It's a Nocturnal Norm, and in this video we're making this bank slash asylum slash whatever the hell it is when I'm making this video. First things first, we're going to need a location, and I've chose here just near Charleston. I've done a lot of builds here, but I find that this kind of thing fits in really nicely. Foundations wise, it's a bit of a chunk of this one. We're going to be building a 5x4 rectangle. Nothing too difficult, but it's quite large. Now while you're putting these down, I'd like to apologise for the delay in uploading this video. I've actually been a busy boy this weekend. I've been out socialising. Yep, I know the outside world is a scary place, but sometimes we've just got to step into it. Couple that with the fact that I'm still not 100% better from last week. By that I mean my throat feels like it's been violated by Andre the Giant's appendage. And if that's a little too graphic for you, may I remind you that this is an M-rated game and I am not in charge of what your children watch on YouTube. Anyway, once you got your foundations down, you should be left with something like this. At the front here on our middle foundation, we're going to build like a little porch, entryway, tower thing. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And the first step to this is literally building up 2 stories worth of walls all around the foundation. So you're going to have 2 on each side of it. Does that make sense? Yep, beautiful. There we go. Yep, simply lovely. Once we've done that, we can then remove these 3 walls here. So we're left with some floaty boys. Now we're going to slide this foundation out of the way, and you guessed it, it's catwalk time, and we're going to use them to offset foundations. Once we've got our catwalk snapped to this foundation here, we can grab the one we've moved and attach it to the catwalk, and that'll give us this effect here. We can then slap down 3 walls around the foundation we've offset like this, remove our catwalk, slide this foundation back, and then stick another one up front of it like that. Beautiful. And on top of this front wall here, we can put down one of these grandiose looking roof pieces. Once that's in, just go around and change all these doorways into solid walls. We're probably going to have to change them back to doorways at some point, but sod it. What could be better than wasting time in a video game? Once that's done, you should be left with something like this. See? A little offset porch area. We can now start building up the tower a little bit. I'm just using half walls, and that's as high as we're going to go over the top of these full pieces here. You can use solid half walls, or you can do what I'm doing and just mixing it up a little bit with these porthole things. Once they're all in, slap down another grandiose roof piece on top of that, and Bob's your uncle. This is what you'll be left with. At this stage, if you want to, you can go around and start putting in all the exterior walls. Now, usually at this point, I'll start flipping walls around and have them facing in every which direction, but you'll be pleased to know in this build, we're keeping it simple. As you can see, we're using the responders set, and I'm just going to go around with 1 run of full half walls all around the bottom, and then on top of that, I'm going to put in some half walls. So in essence, you've got a building that's 1.5 walls high. Does that make sense? Beautiful. If you do want to break it up a little bit, the responders set obviously do have different textures to them. On the half walls, you have the portal, you have solid ones, you have little square windows, and on the full size, you have doorways, a solid wall, double windows, and a single window. So if you are feeling a little bit spicy, mix and match the textures a little bit. I'm not going to do for the purposes of this video, but if you feel like indulging in Fallout 76 for a little bit longer, then go ahead. Although I wouldn't recommend it. After 2 years solid of playing this game, well, 3 years solid of playing this game, I'm suffering from Todd syndrome, which is a condition that involves symptoms such as believing everything is going to work when it doesn't. Anyhow, where was I? Ah, yeah, building walls. Once you've got them down in the configuration that you would like, we're going to start putting some roofs down, and this is easy peasy for the most part. I tend to start with the corners, especially using these fancy corner boy pieces. It can be a bit of a pain in the arse to put in. So when I said it's easy peasy, just take that with a pinch of salt. Once you got those bad boys in, just go around with this other roof variant here. It's pretty much the same, but it just has the fancy little bit, I don't know what it's called, on one side of it. But once you get to the roof pieces that are next to the tower here, change them back to the fancy corner boys and whack them down. As you can see here, it gives quite a nice little effect. Now we've just got to put the middle pieces in. Let me just turn it to daylight. 1 second. There we go. Beautiful. Right, just slap down roof pieces in the big dirty gap you've got here. Self-explanatory, innit? Now enjoy the easiness of this, because when we're putting roofs on our tower and on our little front bit here, we're going to have to do a lot of burning. To get a roof in this spot here, we need to change this one into a slopey boy and destroy it with a flamethrower trap. This is dead simple. You just replace it, obviously, and then we're just going to put a flamethrower on this corner here. We're just going to put a flamethrower on this corner here. We're just going to put a fucking flamethrower. There you go. Wasn't too difficult, was it? Now we're going to trigger it and we're going to destroy this roof piece. Now, this is the point where I realise I have messed up a little bit. I'm trying to put a roof underneath this destroyed piece here, but it will not go. So I'm going to show you how to get around this. And of course, it involves deleting stuff you've already built. Good old TNG being counterproductive as ever. Now, as you can see here, I've destroyed the 2 roof pieces at the side of our tower, and I've removed all the side walls from the tower tower itself. And lo and behold, we can now snap a roof piece where we've been trying to put it for the last 25 minutes. I fucking hate the mechanics of this game, but anyway, we're not actually going to put this roof piece in just yet. We're going to get some more in at the front here. And we're going to start by slapping in one of the fancy corner boys here, just like that. Once it's in, we're going to turn it into a corner boy and destroy it with a flamethrower trap. Simply fucking lovely. Once that's done, we're going to snap another one of those corner boys onto the opposite side, turn it into a corner piece again, and destroy it with a flamethrower trap. As you can see, it is a kick in the dick trying to get the flamethrower to actually place down, but once it's in, you'll be able to destroy it with no problems whatsoever. And once you've recovered from the emotional breakdown that whole process caused you, we can finally put in the roof piece where we wanted it in the first place. Just here. Now, if you're watching the video from here, you'll see me repairing all the other roof pieces. Don't do that yet. I cocked up. The flat piece that you've just put in literally a couple of seconds ago, turn that into a slopey boy and destroy it with a flamethrower trap, so you're left with something like this. What this allows us to do is build up our walls again to make our tower. We can then remove the walls underneath it and leave floating walls above it, you know, like we had about 20 minutes ago. All that bloody work to put in a couple of roof pieces, it just boggles the mind. We can then move our foundation forward. It should snap to the offset wall that we've got at the front and slap in a couple of walls on each side of it like that. Beautiful. Don't ask me why I'm putting another roof piece in at this point. It's already got one there. It's just destroyed. My brain's just absolutely fried at this moment in time. I told you, it's the early signs of Todd syndrome. Anyhow, now you can start changing your doorways into solid walls and repairing all your roof pieces. Now, don't just go to your camp module and repair all. It's much more fun spending precious minutes of your life that you're never going to get back repairing each and every single roof piece. Individually, that is. Once they're repaired, or do it as you go along, change them all back into flat pieces and you should be good to go. You can then go up to the top of your build, repair all the roofs up there, add in your half walls, and when it's all said and done, you should be left with something like this. A lot of work, but it does look half decent in my opinion. Now we're at the point of putting the roofs on our tower, and let me tell you, this is the most tedious part about all of the build. You're going to put down one of these little fancy roof pieces on every corner of the tower, but to do that, you're going to have to burn some shit. Once the roof's down and you've, made a mental note of which way it's facing, change it to a slopey boy, destroy it with a flamethrower trap. Once that's destroyed, place down another roof on the opposite side again, making sure that the little fancy bit is facing in a different direction, change it to a slopey boy, destroy it with a flamethrower trap, and then just rinse and repeat for the last two walls. Once it's finished and you've repaired all your roof pieces, this is what you'll be left with. You can then change all those slopey boys into the grandiose looking pieces and you'll be left with a pretty cool looking tower. For some reason, all of them are not rendering in this clip here, but trust me, they are all there. It's just the game being shit. And you know what? Sod it. While we're here, we'll stick a clock on the tower too. Beautiful. One thing we need to address is this offset little gap area here. Well, it's going to create a gap if we put walls in. And the simple way to fix this is to offset foundations. So we're going to grab our catwalk pieces again, and we're just going to repeat what we did on the front porchy entranceway area. Yeah, that's working out absolutely beautifully. Once we've got the foundations offset, we can slap a wall up back of them, and that'll make everything line up really nicely. Then all you got to do is repeat the process on the other side. Now you may be thinking, TNG, look at all that wasted space there. What are you going to do in a little shitty gap like that? Well, I'm just going to use it to add generators in. I'm sure there's more productive uses for this space, but at this point, I honestly don't give a shit. Now this little overhangy bit here, to many of you, it may seem absolutely fine, but as you can see, I've put a post in there. However, if you just try and snap one there directly from the build menu, it's not going to let you do it. So we need to make this glorious little blueprint here. It's really simple to make. All you do is slap down one of the full-size stair posts with one of the medium-sized ones snapped to the top of it. Slap down one of the welcome mats as close as you can get it to the posts, and then you just got to blueprint it all. Dead simple. Now when you try and place it down from the blueprint menu, it will show up as red, but 9 times out of 10, if you just ignore that and click build, it will go down. There you go, you see, simply lovely. Now decor-wise, I've decided on this is going to be a bank. As you can see here, I've started putting down counters to act as, well, a counter, and I've destroyed some of them with a flamethrower trap. And why have I done this? Well, it's quite simple. Now if I get the jail doorway walls, I can snap them through the counters. Now I'm not sure that is what banks strictly look like. Usually it's just a perspex screen, but that'll do. We can then destroy the rest of the counters and put in some jail walls there too. And the end result you'll have is something like this. Now I'm going to cut away and decorate the thing. I'm not going to be able to do it too well because I'm on my Michael Jackson character. She's not got a lot of stuff, alright, but we'll see what we can come up with. And there you are, guys. What do you reckon? I've made it look like, you know, people have been living in there trying to break into safes. That's why there's 12 million of them scattered everywhere. Why you bother doing that in a post-apocalyptic wasteland? I couldn't tell you, but I'm going to be honest with you, I was running low on ideas. As ever, I'd just like to give a massive shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you very much for the extra support. If that's something that any of you guys want to get involved with, the link's down in description. Also, while you're down there, consider clicking on Discord link too. I'm trying to set up a new competition where it'll be the top 5 worst camps of the week. So if that's something you'd be interested in getting involved with, just come and have a nosy. And of course, if you like the video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more weekly Fallout 76 content, hit that subscribe button too. Anyhow, as we're saying north, I'll love you and leave you, and I'll catch you at next one.